Good morning, guys. It's been about 2.5 weeks since we've had our son, Owen, and my husband just went back to work. So today is my very first day alone with our newborn and our 2-year-old daughter. So our day started at 6:30 in the morning when Owen woke up, and the first thing I like to do is change him, and then I'll feed him. And then after I'm done feeding him in the morning, I'll actually bring him to his room. Our master bedroom isn't very toddler proof, so when my daughter Cecilia gets up, it's so much easier to take care of Owen in here when I'm the only one home with them. So while he's going to sleep, I'm pumping. Once he falls asleep, I finish my pumping while I get ready, and then I take care of the milk. I'm exclusively pumping for him. It's a lot of work, but totally worth it. So after I take care of this milk, I'm going to just kind of clean up our master bedroom from the mess of last night. I know I've gained a lot of subscribers from my bedside nursery organizational video, so I just wanted to let you guys know that it has been working out perfectly. So I hope if you took a lot of those tips from that video, it's working for you too, or will be working for you. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it below. But I also set up this diaper cart, which I'm putting away now so that I can bring it into Owen's room. I set that up in my nursery organizational video, and I will also link that below for you. So making our bed and tidying up our room isn't my number one priority to get done in the morning, but it just makes me feel so much better when I do have just those 5 minutes to get this done. I don't even take the time to make our bed look extremely pretty. I just pull up the sheets and make it that way. Just anything to make my day easier. I really wanted to get all of these bottles cleaned, and my other goal was to get the dishwasher cleaned out before getting Cecilia this morning, but Owen had a really hard time going back to sleep after 6:30, so after taking care of him and then pumping and then getting ready, it's already 8:10, and it's time to get this little girl out of her bed. Cecilia has had basically the same morning routine and night routine almost her entire life, so I'm just preparing her sippy cup full of milk. She takes about 7 ounces in the morning. She doesn't really need it anymore because she's 2, but it's just kind of, it's still good for her to have the milk, and we kind of cuddle together after I get her dressed and change her diaper in the morning. It's the first thing I like to do, otherwise it just doesn't get done. So usually I just lay her down and she drinks her bottle a little bit while I change her, and then we have our cuddle time, which is just kind of snuggling together on the couch, and we read a book while she either finishes her bottle or almost finishes it. And then depending on when Owen wakes up, sometimes we don't get to do this, but it's just something we've always done, and it's kind of just a little mommy and me time, so I try to do it whenever I can. I always try to open all of our curtains and blinds first thing in the morning because it just helps me wake up so much faster. And then I always have to take out our dog. His name is Django. And then Cecilia usually ends up playing on the porch while I prepare breakfast. So this morning I decided to make us some eggs mixed with a little bit of cheese, and then I also just set up a little bit of sausage and fruit. I am a huge advocate for breakfast, especially ones that are just packed full of protein. If I don't have a really good breakfast in the morning, I always feel so sluggish throughout the day. This just gives me all that energy I need. Plus, since I'm just pumping so much and basically breastfeeding, it's so good to keep up on your protein intake. So that is why I chose eggs this morning, and that's usually what I've been eating. And then whatever I eat is what Cecilia usually eats, unless it's something completely weird that a toddler cannot eat. She won't. I'll usually make her something else, but otherwise she usually gets exactly the same thing that I'm eating, just kind of cut up into little toddler bite pieces. Cecilia has been 99 percentile on her growth chart, so she's always been a fantastic eater, and I definitely think it's because I eat with her all the time, and I usually give her whatever I'm eating. So she loves eating anything I am. So if I eat a strawberry, she ends up eating the strawberries off her plate. If I eat the eggs, that's what she wants. So she's my little copycat, and she watches everything I do. So it's good to be a good influence because your kids are always watching. So right now I'm actually setting up my coffee, and I miss my Keurig so much. We have not taken the time to research new coffee makers. We've just been using our old one. But anyway, spoiler alert, I do not end up drinking any coffee that I prepped during this batch. Mornings are always just super crazy, so if I don't have my coffee before Cecilia wakes up, I usually don't end up having it until the afternoon anyway. But it just depends on whether or not I have the help from my husband there this morning, or whether or not I am doing it all myself like I was this day. So after breakfast, Cecilia usually makes her way to her playroom, so I'm just opening that up for her so she can play in there while I kind of clean up breakfast, clean up the kitchen, and just get everything prepared and ready to go for the whole day ahead of us. Oh, you know you're beautiful, and it's like one of the things Cecilia loves helping with every single morning is actually feeding our dog Django. You can see she gets so excited. So I'm just filling the cup for her, and then she walks it all the way over to his bowl and pours it in, and then she always says, "Ready, set, go," and then Django comes running in, and usually she has a little bit of a hard time letting go of the cup. She just wants to play inside the little container, but eventually she will put it away and off she goes back to her playroom. So at night I always load our dishwasher, and then in the morning the first thing I like to do is empty it. So usually I like to do it before Cecilia wakes up. This morning I did not because I just didn't end up having the time. So I'm just putting away everything that was drying overnight from the baby bottle rack, and then I'm going to put away everything in the dishwasher so I can just throughout the day put every dirty dish back into there, and then we always have an empty sink, and I don't have to worry about it at the end of the day. Oh, you make me feel fine. Wanna look at you all night. Wanna put you in that spotlight. Oh, you know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful, and it's like you're untouchable, like you're untouchable. Don't you know you know you're beautiful, you know you're beautiful. I'm always amazed by how many dishes already accumulate in the sink after breakfast, but really it doesn't take too long, and gosh, it just feels so good to have an empty sink throughout the day that it's totally worth the 5 minutes to unload and then reload everything back into there. So one of the downfalls to exclusively pumping is you still have to wash all the bottles, whereas breastfeeding, it's straight from your boob. You don't have to wash those bottles. So while I'm washing them, I can actually see Cecilia from her playroom, which is why we love having that den set up as her playroom. It used to be our office, and we just moved our office into our bedroom and made that a playroom. So it's worked out fantastic. So I am just rinsing off all the bottles now because we used all 5 of them last night. So I needed to wash them before this little boy woke up this morning so that I would have a bottle for him ready to go. I always wash the bottles right here in this little white basin. I just feel like it keeps everything a lot cleaner. He also has his own little brush that I use that is only for his baby bottles. And then at the end of the day, when I have more help and my husband's home, I sanitize the bottles then, since it takes just a few more minutes. I don't end up showing my sanitizer in here, but we have the Philip bottle sanitizer. It's like a really big round piece that goes into the microwave, and it just kind of steams the bottles and sanitizes them that way. So I love it, and I will link it below for you if you are looking for a bottle sanitizer by chance. I had a little extra time before Owen woke up, so I set Cecilia up with this new coloring watercolor that we just got. So the book, actually, you can use as many times as you want. It dries, and then you could just reuse the water to color it in. And Cecilia loves this thing. So I will also link that below, and then while she's playing with that, I'm going to be mixing in my Propel. It's by Gatorade. It just has electrolytes and B12 and everything. I always feel so much better after drinking this in the morning. And then since Owen is still sleeping, I'm also pouring my coffee for the morning that I don't end up drinking. and then I was hoping to be able to kind of hang out here with Cecilia and finish my coffee, but it didn't take long before she got a little cranky because she was hangry, so she had her snack. It was 10:30 is when she usually has it, and then her little brother woke up. Oh, you found your baby? Say hi, Owen. You're gonna give him a hug?
Oh, baby.
I had already fed him and changed him, and of course he spit up on himself. He was a little bit of a hot mess this morning. I've been actually waiting for a call for an interview very shortly, so right now we're just sitting out on the porch. I got Mr. Owen because he is super fussy right now. He has been every single morning. He just spits up a lot and doesn't like to be put down in the morning for the first couple hours. And then Cece is over here playing with some mail that she brought in.
What?
See a fly?
Woody.
Oh, yep, there's a fly.
Get it.
Get it! So at about 11:30 in the morning, I was finally able to put him down in his crib so that I had some free arms to take care of everything else that I needed to do. So I am setting up all of my pump parts that I cleaned this morning. That way I can sit with Cecilia in her playroom and pump while she plays, and then it takes about 15-20 minutes for me to pump, and then I'm gonna clean up my milk and then get ready to make lunch for Cecilia and I. One of the best parts about actually exclusively pumping is that breast milk is good at room temperature for 4 hours, so after I pump, I just pour the amount that Owen needs straight into a bottle so that it's ready to go for him, and then everything extra gets put into the fridge. So I decided to make some sandwiches for Cecilia and I. So it's just a turkey, ham, and cheese sandwich. So I usually just use like one piece of bread for her and then one piece of American cheese and ham and turkey. And then I'm also cutting up an avocado for both of us. Avocados were actually one of her very first foods as a little baby, and she still loves them like they're candy to her. So after lunch at 12 o'clock, I always put Cecilia down for her nap. She usually naps from like 12 to 2. Sometimes she'll sleep until 3, but that's only a nice surprise every once in a while. At night, I always wake her up like in the morning at 8 o'clock if she's not awake, but for her naps, I never, they say it's like, don't cap the nap, so I don't, and I just let her sleep as long as she likes for her nap, as long as she needs. And even if she takes like a 3-hour-long nap, I have never had any problems with her sleeping all throughout the night. She sleeps in her crib, but we put her down at basically 8 o'clock at night, and then we get her out of her crib at 8 o'clock in the morning. So of course, as soon as I had put Cecilia down, Owen woke up and he was ready to eat again. And then so I'm racking him, changing him, and trying to get him to go back down so that I can try to get some things done while both my kids are napping, but unfortunately, that does not always happen.
And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes.
So after I finally got him to go down and he looks like he is finally really sleeping, I am gonna clean up his room because it is a hot mess from all the spit up and just the chaos of this morning. I also just like to make sure everything is ready to go for the next time he wakes up so that I don't have to stress about it then.
The sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
I had set up this basket with all of Cecilia's old toys and left it in here, and then I've just kind of left it because she loves going through it when I'm taking care of Owen in here, and it just keeps her a little occupied while I'm taking care of her little brother. It's been about 5 hours since I made my coffee, so I can't really heat this up anymore, so I think I'm gonna make myself another cup. But both kids are now in bed. Cecilia usually naps until 2, anywhere between 2 and 3. Hopefully 3 o'clock today. and then Owen just went down, so he should be up within the next 2 to 3 hours. So theoretically I have at least 1 to 2 hours to myself. We'll see.
I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose.
So I'm gonna sit on the couch, pump, and drink my coffee when I should be drinking water, and watch some Emily in Paris just to have some me time. Alright, so I got like 15 minutes into my pump, and then Owen is up. Apparently he just likes to take really small amounts every like hour and a half to 2 hours during the day. So we are gonna feed him, and hopefully I'll just go back to sleep really quickly so that I can actually have a little bit of time to myself. Newborns are completely unpredictable, and sometimes he goes right to sleep after getting fed, and then other times it takes him like 30 minutes to an hour after rocking and burping and everything. And then if he's eating every 2 hours, that means he was just rocked and burped and fed for an hour, and then he will only sleep for an hour, and then he's up again. So unfortunately that was my day today. Some days he goes 3 hours in between, and that is completely ideal, but that is not always the case. So I was able to pump for like another 10 minutes, and then it's about 2:30 now, and Cecilia is awake, so I'm gonna go get her. And then Owen is still kind of in and out. He's not really having a good time today, so I might have to break out the baby carrier, we'll see. So on this morning after her nap, I could smell that she had some stinkies. So usually when I change her, I kind of just set her up with a book and lay her on the floor. We actually just moved her changing table to Owen's room, so changing her on the floor is actually new for us, but is working a lot better since she is so big. And then right after her nap, I always set her up with a little snack. So this morning, she actually picked this out herself. She wanted some grapes, so I'm just cutting them all up. I usually do it in quarters for her. All right, Owen is finally passed out. Hopefully he'll actually sleep for more than just an hour. And I'm gonna clean up the kitchen real quick because that's what I've been meaning to do for the past like 2 to 3 hours. And Cecilia's just right here playing on our porch. And then I really want to get this done, that way I can play with her at least for a little while before this guy wakes up again, because she really needs that one-on-one time. So I'm finally taking the time to clean up the kitchen after our mess from lunch. So it just gets out of control so fast with each meal. I feel like I'm constantly in the kitchen cleaning it and picking things up and then just making a whole mess again. If you can relate, let me know in the comments or like this video.
Not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town.
So I needed to refill my Dawn Power Wash dish spray, so I'm going to show you guys how I do this. It's so much cheaper than buying the refills. So this is the little recipe that I found online. I end up using a little bit less of the rubbing alcohol than the recipe calls for, and then a few more pumps of like dish soap. Otherwise it smells too much like rubbing alcohol to me, and then it's also not as sudsy as I like it, so I just add a little bit more soap. It is cheaper and works just as well as the regular, but I will say the regular one smells so good. I love the smell of it, and when you do it this way, it doesn't have that smell, so you kind of have to give or take.
Baby, I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life.
So you can see my letterboard still has a Christmas quote on it, and luckily that is the last bit of Christmas left in our house, but everything looks so empty now, and I love that it's like nice and clean and fresh, but I also just want to declutter everything and kind of redecorate with a new like lighter, cleaner slate, but I just don't have the time right now. Literally, I'm just in survival mode with a newborn and toddler, but I just have that itch to switch. Cecilia wanted some more grapes, so I'm gonna be cutting up a few more for her. I swear all day is just snack. I'm either running snacks changing diapers or just trying to feed myself and survive, and trying to fit in whenever I can just some cleaning so that my sanity level is at least close to sane.
I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking.
Cece helping clean? Oh, good job. Cleaning the wall. Nice and clean. More?
Okay.
There's more in there. See? Use the spray. Can you do it? And then clean, clean, clean. Good job. I am so ready to change up this area, especially this coffee bar. I repainted it white recently and it's something's still off with it. I need to completely redo this area, especially because it just feels so cluttered, especially with this desk area right here. This is for our cat food and our dog food is on the bottom. It's in like a little drawer that pulls in and out. So I was just refreshing that before finally getting some time to go out in the yard with Cecilia. And we played a little game of catch the ball and she was having so much fun with this. We also just ran in circles and chased each other for like 5 or 6 minutes and she got out a lot of energy this way.
Okay.
Let's go get him.
Baby.
Let's go get your baby.
Yeah. Coming.
I'm coming.
Coming, baby. Baby.
Oh my. Is that your baby?
Oh, baby.
Yay! Okay, let's feed him. Cecilia has been so good with her newborn little brother. I was so worried that she was gonna act out because she wasn't getting as much attention as she usually does from me, but she loves helping. You can see her here just like standing here with us and helping hold his bottle, and she was also singing to him and rocking. She does kind of lose interest after a little while, but she always kind of hangs out close or near to us, especially since I have all those baby toys in this room that are basically new to her because she doesn't remember playing with them, and then she kind of just entertains herself while I take care of her little brother. You can see here she was getting kind of into the diaper cart. She wanted to open close the little wipes here. Luckily she didn't make too much of a mess with it. I try not to get too worked up about things like that, especially since even if she took all the wipes out, I could easily put them maybe like in a plastic bag. It's not that big of a deal. I did ask her to put it back or put it away though, and she did, so I was very happy that she actually listened to me, but that does not always happen because she's a little 2-year-old toddler and she's testing everything that she can and cannot get away with. But for the most part, she's just been so fantastic with her new baby brother. Alright, it is basically 4:45-ish. My husband should be here in like 15 minutes. Owen's not having it again, so I'm gonna go get him. And then I turned on some Sesame Street for Cece so I can at least try to get dinner ready, but we'll see. So I brought Owen into our living room with Cecilia and tried to soothe him out there. It took quite a while, but eventually Cecilia actually came up and wanted to snuggle with us, and these are literally the moments I live for. They make making being a parent so worth it. Alright, I got this little guy on me. I may or may not be able to put him down, but my husband just got home, so he's actually gonna start dinner. But we're just gonna be putting in some chicken, and then we like to buy just like those pre-made, basically Caesar salad kits. So that's what's for dinner, is a Caesar salad with some chicken on it, and I can't wait because I'm starving. Yep, we're gonna have chicken, Cece. But I'm just gonna end the video here, and I hope you guys enjoyed kind of just seeing what life is like with a newborn and a toddler. And if you want to see more videos like this, or I do a lot of like cleaning motivation videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!